So if you're in the market for a good field monitor and you need it to have a decent amount of features, but you don't want to spend a huge amount of money, then I really don't think that you'll find one at a better price point than the one that looks like this. Wait, that's just the box. I mean the one that looks like this. Let's check it out. So what's up YouTube? My name is Glenn and I would like to welcome you to my channel. And if you are new here, I would ask please hit that subscribe button down below as well as that bell for future notifications. And if at the end of this video you did find it helpful, please hit that thumbs up. It helps my channel out and also lets other people know about this video. So before I get into this review, I do have to say that Fotga did send me this monitor for review, but I did make sure to let them know that this would be my honest opinion and nobody is reviewing this video before I upload it to YouTube. So without further ado, let's get into my opinion on this monitor. So first of all, there are 4 different versions of this monitor. There is the A50, which is just the monitor by itself with no touchscreen or anything like that. And then there is the A50T, which adds touchscreen. There's the A50TL, which adds 3D LUT support. And then there is the A50TLS, which adds SDI support. This is the A50TL because when Fotga asked me which monitor I needed, I told them the TL was fine since I needed a monitor for my Panasonic S1, which does not have SDI support, does not have a flip out screen as well, which I'm sure many of you guys know, but this fit all of my needs and then some. So to get into a few of the specs, I'll read them off to you here. The screen size on this monitor is 5-inch. It has a resolution of 1920 by 1080. The brightness is 510 nit, which just to give you guys a little bit of perspective about that, because I know some of the hype is having the super bright monitor and you know 1000, 2000 nit. This being 510, I have a 2018 MacBook Pro. At its brightest is 500 nit. So this is a little bit brighter by 10 nit than my MacBook Pro, which goes pretty bright. Now, you're not going to be able to go full-on sun with this, just like you wouldn't be with your MacBook and be able to see, but it does come with a sunshade. The contrast ratio is 1500 to 1. It has a 170 degree viewing angle with an IPS monitor. It has DC input, which it can handle between 7 and 18 volts. It weighs about 200 grams or 7 ounces and is capable of receiving USB upgrades for firmware, as well as adding LUTs through USB as well, as long as you did get a model that supports LUTs. So now for my overall opinion of what I think of this monitor. I'll give you guys a few of my pros and cons about this monitor, and then later in this video I will get into all the features and how they work and stuff like that. So if you're just looking for a quick review and opinion, I'll give it to you now. If you want to know more of a tutorial style, stick around towards after that and I'll get a little bit more in depth. But so first of all, one of my main pros to this monitor is its price point. So the prices go from the A50s currently on Amazon, which I will leave affiliate links down below for all of these. But the A50 goes for, I believe, $149. The A50T goes for $169. The A50TL, which again is this model, goes for $209, and then the A50TLS goes for, I believe, $249 or $246, something like that. But you really can't find all the features that this monitor has at this price point. So no matter which one of these that you get, what you're getting for the price is tremendous, because this thing is built very well. It's very solid. It's not too heavy. The screen quality is very good, and the features of this monitor are very good. So another one of the pros that I really like, set my phone down here, is the sunshade. So we talked about the brightness of this. So if you did want to use this outside, you are going to need a sunshade going, you know, if you're in the full-on sun, which is going to be the same for any monitor that you're looking at in this price point. But it's really not a big deal. So most monitors at this price point come with some kind of Velcro sunshade that will have some Velcro tape you have to put on there, and then you have to stick the sunshade on there and pull it off when you're done and put it someplace else. And that can become a hassle in multiple ways. For one, you got two separate components that you got to keep in separate places, and you could end up losing one, or when you need it, have a hard time finding it. For two, the Velcro tape can come off over time if you're constantly taking it on and off, because you're obviously not going to want to leave that on while you're storing it and stuff like that. So that can become a hassle. But what's really awesome about this one is the sunshade is actually made out of a very durable plastic and folds up just like this. And it just snaps right on the top. So you don't ever have to take the sunshade off if you don't want to. And it makes it very convenient for storing it. You know, if you're putting it in a camera bag, it works as a screen protector as well. And just keeps the form factor very slim and sleek, and keeps everything together so you don't have to worry about losing something. To open it up, all you do is just lift it up, pull those out, and boom, you've got your sunshade. And you know, like I said, the quality is very well. I love the look of it. It looks a little bit more professional in my opinion than just a Velcro sunshade, and just adds a new level to this monitor, and especially again at this price point. So I was very impressed with that. One of the other pluses that I found on this monitor was the mounts. So you have quarter 22 on each side, quarter 20 mounts, and then you have a 3/8 and a 3/8 and a 3/8 all the way around. The only place there is no mounts is on the front and the very back. But all the 3/8 mounts also come with quarter 20 adapters, so you can take those down to quarter 20. And they also have this rosette pattern around it, and the cold shoe mount that they give you also has those rosettes on it. So when you put this cold shoe mount on there, those rosettes line up and it keeps it tight. So you know, I have other accessories that use these cold shoe mounts. I have LED lights, I have microphones, I mean, you name it, all kinds of stuff uses these cold shoe mounts. And I'm sure just as many of you guys know, every time you go and move one of those things to adjust it, then that quarter 20 begins to come loose and the thing just flops around and it gets very frustrating. So with those rosettes, it keeps it steady, and with a monitor, you're probably going to be adjusting your angle quite often, and so that keeps it tight. And this cold shoe mount works very well. It has a good amount of resistance to it and will keep its position pretty much wherever you put it. And you can adjust the friction on it for your other angles as well. And so that was a big plus. One of the other pros is the fact that it has 3D LUT support. Now, I haven't really needed a monitor before because I use other Panasonic Lumix cameras that have flip out screens, and I've always relied on those. And if I didn't have those, then I have you know, Wi-Fi support where I can use the app and I can use stuff like that. But since I got my Panasonic S1, which doesn't have a flip out screen, which I'm totally okay with because it's way worth getting the camera. But I found that I wanted to get a monitor, just kind of up my game in that, because that camera is amazing. And so I found that you know, if you're on the fence about getting a monitor, it's totally worth getting for several different reasons. For one, you know, you can see things a lot better. You have more control over what you're doing. Things like you know, false colors and being able to have your focus peaking on a larger screen. You can see things better. But not only that, especially with the 3D LUT support, is you just see things from a different perspective. I think it causes you to think a little bit outside of the box. Because when you're relying on just the camera or even the app, which is basically a duplicate of the camera, you're more focused on all your settings and all the other stuff going on. Having a monitor like this, you start to see things in a more cinematic way. And so as you're looking at your shot, it makes you start judging, you know, how's your composition? Well, I could come in from here, I can come in from there, and you just see things from a different way, and it starts to stir that kind of creativity, at least in my opinion. And the fact that you can add the 3D LUTs helps on multiple levels. Because for one, if you're planning on doing color grading and you're planning on using LUTs in your post-production, then you can put those straight on the monitor and get at least a close feel to what it's going to look like in the end result. And if you're working with clients, you know, and they can see as well what more the end result's going to be, especially if you're using a flat color profile or vlog or something like that. You know, they're just seeing that gray image. It kind of changes that and gives you more of a refined product. So the fact that it has the 3D LUT support is really awesome. It comes with 5 pre-installed, and then you can add up to 8 more of your favorite ones, which you can change it at any time. But so you can use your favorite LUTs on it, and it just really helps a lot. So I thought the LUT support was really awesome. The touchscreen is really awesome. Again, at this price point, to have touchscreen and to have LUT support is amazing. But to have touchscreen makes it very convenient as well. Because if you're trying to do things like pull focus and stuff like that, or check to make sure that your focus is on, you have focus peaking for one, which you can set to low or high. You can change all the colors to that, but you have your focus peaking, and then you can pinch to zoom and zoom in on stuff to see in a finer detail whether or not you're in focus. And that's huge, because we've all done it to where, you know, we shoot something, you know, go through all of our setup, all of that, tear down, you know, go back to the studio or wherever, load it all up, you know, start doing your editing and see that one of the main things that you needed in focus wasn't in as focus as you thought it was, and you're stuck with that footage now. So it's either scrapped or you know, you just have to use it as it is. And so being able to zoom in and see whether or not something is in focus is tremendous. That's a huge thing. And not only that, but being able to use the menu items through touchscreen is very convenient, because it does have configurable buttons all over the place. But not only that, you can go through all the menu items just by using touch, which is very convenient, because I prefer to work that way. And I think a lot of us do now that we have smartphones and all that sort of thing. So being able to have a touchscreen is awesome. Another pro to this monitor is having the dual battery support. That is a big deal to me, because like Fotga also sent me these Sony NPF batteries. They're 7200 milliamp hours, and so these batteries are huge. And being able to have 2 of these on there is a big deal for several reasons. For one, it's hot swappable. So if you have both batteries on there, you can take one out and the other one's still gonna power it. And you can charge this one, or if you have another one, then you can just put that one on there, and you can literally keep this thing going all day. Although 7200 milliamp hours times 2, this thing's gonna run all day either way. But here's a huge thing about this monitor is it has DC out. So not only can you power the monitor through a V-mount type battery or the 2 NPF, or you can get adapters to be able to use Canon LP batteries, but you can power your camera off of this. So, you know, like I have the Panasonic S1 and several other Lumix cameras. If I want to, I can get a dummy battery and plug it straight into here. And with those 2 batteries and being able to swap them in and out, I can keep my camera, I can keep my monitor going all day long. Or you can use it to power other stuff as well. So being able to have that feature is a huge plus at this price point. Now, a couple of the cons, which are really just being kind of nitpicky because there isn't a lot of cons to this monitor at all. I mean, I really cannot complain about this thing. I'm very happy with it. But the USB upgrade process and LUT import process, in my opinion, was a little bit finicky. Now, when I first got this monitor, it needed a firmware update, and so I went ahead and got my USB thumb drive, put the update on there, plugged it in, went to update it, and it failed, and it failed, and it failed. And so I got to digging around a little bit more in some of the user manual and stuff like that, and saw that they said that it needed to be FAT32 formatted. And so I did that and still had an issue upgrading it. It still failed. And I had to actually format it to FAT16, I believe it was. Yes, FAT16. And then it finally took it. Now, I don't know whether that was an issue with my thumb drive. I don't know whether that was an issue with the monitor or what, but it just didn't flow as easily as I expected it to. And then the same thing happened again with the LUTs. So the LUTs just, it wouldn't take it, and you know, I tried all the formatting stuff. That one I did have to actually format to FAT32, and then it finally took it. So I don't know, again, I tried two different thumb drives, one 8 GB and one 64 GB. And so I don't know if, you know, it's an issue with the thumb drives or whether it's an issue with this, but really that's the only thing I'm being picky about. The other thing is maybe they could add a speaker to this if you want to be able to play back your footage and hear it without having to use headphones, which again, I mean, you should be monitoring your audio anyways, and so you should have some headphones available to where you can listen to it. So that's really just kind of being a little bit nitpicky. But other than that, I mean, that's really it. So if you're in the market for a good monitor, I would highly recommend this one. At least give it a try. And if you're on the fence about getting a monitor, you need to have a monitor. It will make a huge difference in the quality of your footage. So now we'll go ahead and step into the portion where I show you what all the different features do on this. Okay, so now for some of the menu stuff. So I'll show you here. I guess it would help if I turn the touch screen back on. So you have for your basic controls, you have your display, and that has your safety markers, your center marker, your marker matte, marker color, marker thickness, your scan mode, your video aspect ratio, anamorphic mode, zoom, and freeze. Here under functions, you have monochrome, false colors, your focus peaking, your peak color, so you can change it to multiple different colors, your zebra pattern on or off, histogram, your audio bar position, or even if you want it off, your color bar. You have what you can set your F1 and F2 button for. You know what? Actually, let's see. Yeah, this is where you set all your buttons for here, which you can, but you can also do this another way, and I'll show you this in just a second. You have your LUTs, so which you can also you know, scroll and select all the stuff through the toggle wheel here. But you have your LUT switch on and off. So if you want to turn your LUTs on or off, which LUT, and if you turn it on, then you get to see which LUT it is that you have chosen. And you can see it changes pretty much everything on there. The menu color changes as well. So I'll just turn that off for a second. If you're importing the LUTs, and we'll go ahead and go back from here. And then here's your basic controls. So you have your backlight percentage, color temperature, the brightness, your contrast, saturation, and hue. And so we'll go back there. Now your system, you can change your language. You can change the transparency of the menu, so if you turn the menu on, you can make it transparent or not transparent. Your display time that the menu stays on. Turn the touchscreen on or off, turn the fan on or off. which the fan hasn't needed to come on for me at all, and I've used this thing quite a bit, but just haven't found that it gets hot enough to turn it on, or if it has turned on, it's pretty quiet and I don't notice it. So you have your volume, mute, and you can reset the whole thing, and then this is where you do your upgrades. But yeah, this is basically everything that you can adjust on this. Very cool. And then also, if you want to change any of your buttons up here, you can just swipe down, and then you do have to swipe from the very top. You can't just swipe down from anywhere, but you swipe down from the very top and you can change these to whatever you want. So all of your buttons you can adjust to what they belong to, and be able to control it that way. So very customizable, very convenient. This monitor is really awesome for the price. So if you have any questions or anything like that, please just let me know down in the comment section below. If you have one of those or have one of these monitors, please let me know what you think of it. Or if you have any other suggestions at this price point, let me know as well. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.